In my 20s, I had done the most stupidest things with my money, like buying a Ford Explorer with 3 rows, with only 2 people living in the house, and traveling 60 miles back and forth to go to work, making a $600 payment on this truck and spending nearly $60 a week on gas just to say I got it. So guys, in this video, what I really want to do is I want to have a conversation about the top 13 wealth killers that are out there that will destroy you in your 20s and your 30s, and I really don't want you to make the same dumb mistakes that I made. Number 1 is leaving your house too early. For some particular reason, we think once we're 18 years old, we have life figured out and we want to get out of the house as quick as possible to start life. That is by far one of the worst things to do. What you really want to do, guys, is stay in your house as long as possible. If you're going to college, stay home, build up your emergency fund, and save up, finish college, and then you go out and live on your own. You see, you're able to save so much money when you're staying in your parents' house and you're building up your nest egg early on in your teenage years. This will allow you to buy your car cash, get an apartment, buy your furniture cash. You wouldn't be stressed out figuring how you're going to pay for all these things. And listen, I live down here in Florida. I'm pretty sure they have this in other places. Rooms to Go is always there with the 0 interest payment for 2 years. And that seems to be the #1 way people start buying furniture as soon as they leave their house. That is a horrible idea. Try to pay cash as much as possible, and listen, stay in your parents' house. You get free meals. Number 2 is not buying your first car cash. Time and time again, I see so many people, the first car they get is their dream car. And they spent so much money on that car, then they recognize it's just a piece of metal and it's depreciating and you don't like it as much as you do. And now you want to trade it in with negative equity, and here goes your financial wealth killing journey. You're going to continue paying high car payments, carrying all this negative equity, and you are never going to get out of that cycle. So if you really want to start smart, pay for your first car cash, hold on to that car, and save to pay cash for your next car. Don't be dumb like me with my $600 SUV. That was the worst purchase I ever made. The third mistake that I see so many people do is this. They do not invest in a company 401k or a Roth IRA. Reason being is because as soon as you start your first job, you're saying, well, I'm not getting paid that much, so of course I cannot put money into a Roth IRA because I don't make enough. But guys, you need to understand, it doesn't matter about how much money you put into your 401k account or your Roth IRA account at a young age. Because number 1, time is of the essence. And when it comes to compound interest, time is your best friend. So starting even with a small amount can make a huge difference in your future. And then also number 2, it allows you to build the muscle of saving and spending less than what you make. You want to, especially during the times when you start getting your first job, or really any damn job, start putting money into your retirement and protect your future. Any amount of money is enough. I highly recommend you at least put up to a match, but I already know because I heard these conversations from a lot of newly grads from the job I work in now, which is they do not feel like they could put 7% or 8% or whatever your match is currently, and they choose to put nothing at all. You have to, and I promise you, you have to put something, anything into your accounts. And the 4th wealth killer that I see people do is they go to college without a plan. If you're going to go to college and you want to try to save as much as possible and not have to deal with having student loans, the decision to go to college doesn't start once you enroll into college. You have no idea what you're going to do. By that time, you're a little too late. What you need to do is focus on that in your freshman years, okay? For so many people now, especially if you have kids, talk to them early on about college. Make them completely fill out a whole bunch of scholarships, grants. Look at all types of avenues to make sure they're prepared to go to college if that is what they choose. Time and time again, I hear parents saying you need to go to college, but they're not helping their kids out. And as soon as they get ready to go to college, they're signing up for student loans. They're trying to figure out life. They're enjoying the entertainment that comes with college, and they're not using the college experience to the fullest extent. No more of that, guys. You're seeing so many people walking around with student loans all the way to the 40s and 50s, and some people even to the 60s for going to college in the 20s. And what makes matters even worse, some people never even completed the degree, or the degree that they have is nothing to do with the job they currently have right now. The fifth wealth killer that I see people do is they spend the money they're expecting to get in the future. People live today as if their future income is here now. AKA, guys, that's why people are always living on credit cards and they're always living on paycheck to paycheck. You need to act and live your wage. You only spend what you have now, and you always try to live on less than what you make. That way, guys, lifestyle creep will not be so drastic for you, because if you're living on less than what you make now, the more you make and you're saving, right, and you're investing, you will continue to increase your saving and your investing, but you also get to increase your lifestyle creep. You also want to enjoy life as much as possible, but you want to keep things as balanced as possible. Things get way out of whack when you're expecting in the future to make more income. So now you are comfortable accumulating credit card debt. You are comfortable with getting a house you can't afford. You are comfortable with that because you're expecting your future earnings will take care of that. You are not going to be able to sustain that for a long period of time. You will have a paycheck to paycheck cycle. And listen, it's not even guaranteed that the future earnings you expect to get, you will get. And we all know, even when you get to that point, you want to increase your lifestyle even higher, and you will always be chasing your tail. Number 6, buying a house too early. When you are starting out in your career, okay, you are just got your degree, you're so excited, you have your job. Guys, in your 20s and in your early 30s, life could make so many changes and you'll have no idea at all where you may end up. Okay, and buying a house is for stability. You're expecting to stay at that location for a long period of time. But why would you want to do that in your 20s? What if right now you live in Florida, but you have a wonderful, awesome opportunity to work in New York or in Atlanta or California? Now you can't go anywhere because you feel like you don't want to sell your home. You have a home, you want to stay there. By all means, having a home is an awesome thing. But in your 20s, you need the flexibility and you need time. A marriage or kids could change your whole dynamic on the house that you bought. And I know right now rent is really high, but guys, you really want to take advantage of the flexibility of being able to move whenever the hell you want. And being house poor right now is happening with so many people. Do not jump in that arena to be house poor. Just wait, be patient. Save, build up, put 20% down on a home, put 30% down on a home, put however much you want down on a home, because you will be prepared and ready, because you're doing all the right things in the 20s and your 30s. Do not jump in the house. Now I repeat, do not jump in the house because everyone is telling you, your family, your friends are telling you having a house is the number one thing you need to do. No, the number one thing you need to do is take care of yourself and ensure financial freedom is something you can reach and there's nothing holding you back. Number 7, unprotected sex. Guys, growing up, I was so afraid of getting AIDS. But you know what else could ruin your life? KIDS. Kids. Yes, you heard me right. I'm not saying you can't have kids once you're married and you're married at a young age. You can do all that. But just going around town, having unprotected sex, getting somebody pregnant, and now that's it, guys. Your life is ruined forever. Not the kid's life. I'm talking about your financial life. Whatever journeys you have or whatever dream you have at that moment when the pregnancy is announced, that is cut short. It ends. Now your whole life and your whole motivation is aimed at having a child. And right now, with inflation and the cost of goods being so high, and with childcare being so high, you're going to bring a child into this world but you can barely take care of yourself. You are setting yourself back years and years financially. Now, I'm not saying having a kid is the worst thing to have. Of course, having a kid is a blessing. But the problem is you are not ready. Okay, you had an unprotected sex, you had a child when you wasn't even planning for it. Be patient. Don't rush it. Don't make stupid mistakes going out in bars, getting drunk, meeting some random women. Because now their lifestyle is attached to you. You're going to be attached to their hip, guys. Regardless if you stay with that person or you don't, or whatever arrangements you have, you are tied to that person to the hip for life. So be wise, have protected sex, and avoid as much as possible having kids prior to getting married. And the number 8 wealth killer is carrying credit card debt. Listen, man, the most responsible thing to do if you are going to use credit cards, because let's be quite honest, you will need to use credit cards responsibly in order for you to get a house or to get a car loan, all those things at a very low rate, or at least the best rate possible. You're gonna have a credit card. The issue is with this. The credit card, guys, is not supplementing your salary. Okay, if you cannot afford something, you should not be using a credit card. Only if you could afford it and you're able to pay the full balance in the end of the month. You do not, and I repeat, you do not want to just use credit cards to go on vacation, to travel, to drink, and to party, to buy socks. Because next thing you know, guys, for the next 10 years, you're paying all this interest on a socks that you bought like 10 years ago. Come on, really. You end up buying a pair of socks that cost $10. Later on, it's costing you damn near $200. You need to be really smart when it comes to credit cards. There's really dangerous times right now because so many people are using credit cards for everything. They're tired of just this paycheck to paycheck living. They want to reward themselves. They want to justify using a credit card by saying later on I could take care of it. YOLO, live life once, doomsday spending. Okay, get it, but guess what? It's going to come back to haunt you. You're going to end up being in your 40s and your 50s continuously chasing to try to pay off credit card debt. You want to avoid it as much as possible as you can in your 20s. Because in your 20s, guys, it's the most dangerous time. Everyone is partying, everyone's going on vacation, everyone's having a great time. And that's usually when your pay, your salary is at its lowest. And you always gonna say to yourself, well, they don't want to make more and more money. No, don't do that. Try as hard as you can to save up cash and go on vacations with some of your friends, go parties with some of your friends, but you don't need to go to every vacation they go to, and you don't need to party with all of them. Just choose wisely. The number 9 wealth killer, and yeah, I've done this. And I don't even know if they do this nowadays, but yeah, which is going to clubs and buying bottles. That is by far one of the most stupidest things I've ever done as well, besides get that SUV paying $600 a month. Going to the club and buying bottles, but buying alcohol in general in the club is by far one of the most stupidest things I've ever done. I mean, explain to me how I could buy a bottle of beer for damn near $6-7 when I could buy a 6-pack in the store for the same price, right? Or 2 beers. There's 2 beers, $14. I gotta buy a whole case of Coronas. Or why am I gonna spend $150 on a bottle of rum when I could spend $20 in the store? Going out and drinking to just show off because, you know, it looks like the cool thing to do, having bottles in your hands, is by far one of the most dumbest things I've ever done. Guys, don't do it. Be responsible. Go out, have a drink or two, pre-game, Uber, no driving, no DUIs. DUIs could certainly ruin you tremendously. Get an Uber, go out, have fun, that's great. But bottle service is something, guys, you just really want to avoid. I know you want to show off, let everyone know, look, I made it. You think you could pick up ladies that way? No, avoid it. That's by far one of the most dumbest things to do, is spending all that money for no damn reason. And really, guys, when it's all said and done, only thing they didn't give you is A, to make a dumb decision, getting behind the wheel, getting a DUI, B, having unprotected sex and having a kid, and C, hangovers, which by far I hate, and that's one of the best things about me not drinking anymore, is having no hangovers. The number 10 wealth killer is not learning about finances. You need to learn about finances as much as possible because, guys, money is always going to be around and you need to manage money. I get so angry when I hear people say, you know what, it will figure out on its own. I will make enough money. Money doesn't matter. Money doesn't buy happiness. Listen, you need to manage your money. If not, ask people who don't have money how they feel. Do they feel happy? No, they feel miserable and stressed out continuously over money stress. Learn about the basics with finances. Learn about putting your savings, not in a regular savings account with your checking account, no, putting in a high yield savings. Learn about 401k match. Learn about opening up a Roth IRA. Learn so much about just basic personal finance stuff. Okay, subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel, guys. It's all really talk about this basic finance stuff. I don't make it extremely complicated. I make it fun and I make it enjoyable. That's all you need to have. To just have a basic understanding of budgeting and handling your finances, and that will make you, I guarantee you, that will make you so much more higher and better and advanced than the majority of people right now in the current economy. And the number 11th wealth killer is following your parents' expectations. Once you're 18 years old, guys, you really have the full responsibility to do whatever it is that you want to do. I understand parents raise you, have this image of you, of things that you should do, but you are your own person. You cannot end up going to college, getting a degree because your parents told you wanted that degree, even though you know you're not happy about it. Now you're spending so much money, getting so much debt to just please them, but you're not happy. And now you are stuck with having to pay back student loans for doing something you really didn't want to do, right? Parents might tell you, buy a house. It's the best thing to do. You buy a house, but you're the one that's now making this house payment. You're the one that's not house poor. Your parents are going to tell you, get a new car. They're going to tell you to do all these things, and you're just doing it because you're following their advice, but that's not always the best advice. You're smarter than that. You know what you should do and what you shouldn't do. You should not take advice from the masses. When the masses are telling you what to do, that's when you want to get really worried. You want to question, should I be doing the things that they said that I should be doing? You want to make decisions based upon you, because if you're going to become financially free, you're going to become a millionaire, whatever you want to do in life, you have to have passion towards it. And if you don't have the vision and the goal to achieve a certain goal you want to achieve in life, and you're following someone else's, it's not going to take you that far, and it's not going to definitely give you happiness. So be smart, handle your money wisely, and do what you want to do. Don't worry about your parents. They live their life. They can do what they need to do for themselves. And the number 12 wealth killer is keeping up with the Joneses. I don't know why we call it the Joneses. It should just be keeping up with society. I feel sorry for anyone who has a last name Jones, but it seems like that's what society says. So in this case, I'm going to just use Joneses to let you know keeping up with what society is doing. Majority of society, guys, are broke. Plain and simple. Majority of society cannot save $500 emergency fund. Do not chase them. Obviously, you know where that path leads. You be patient, you be humble, and you do and you buy what you want to buy for yourself. Not for what you're expected to buy, not because you feel like this will make me happy. No, you do things the right way. Trust me, guys, in your 20s, it's going to suck because you want to do so much, but it's going to pay dividends by the time you're in your 30s or by the time you're in your 40s. You would see the small impact that you did in your 20s that you thought was such a big deal. You recognize it paid dividends in the future. Now you could really travel and actually pay cash for it, right? You could, yes, use your credit card, but you could pay it off when you come back. You're not going on vacation, enjoying life, and spending the rest of your years or 2 years slaving to pay off your vacation you took 3 years ago. Now you actually got money. Now you actually have security. And that is by far one of the best things that you need to do, okay? Just don't follow the Joneses and you will win this financial game. And the 13th wealth killer that I see so many people do is afraid to fail. You can't play life safe. I see so many people so afraid to try something new, and I was one of them, where I know if I would have done it earlier, it could have paid dividends in the future, right? If I would have done this YouTube channel a long time ago, man, who knows where this channel would be. But I'm here now because the whole afraid of fear of doing things that I know would better myself, would better my financial life, I'm doing now. And it's okay. It's a little late, but it's okay. I do not want you to be afraid to do all those things in your 20s. Make mistakes fast, and learn from it as fast as possible. Just living a life of just following the herd mentality and doing what everyone expects of you and you being afraid to take risk is not going to help you in this life. Life's not about just reaching a destination. Life is about enjoying the journey. You definitely need to enjoy the journey to hitting financial freedom. And you definitely need to take risks, bold risks, smart calculated risks in order for you to get to where you want to get to faster. You don't want to work in your 20s saying at the age of 65, that's when I'm going to retire, so you're going to follow that path. That's a slow path. Wouldn't it be awesome at the age of 35 you reach financial freedom? Or at the age of 30? Or at the age of 40? Where you're saying to yourself, I don't really need to work a 9 to 5. I could do whatever I want. I'm making enough money on the side from this bold, audacious thing that I tried. And now I could enjoy life in my 40s. And my primary job, my 9 to 5 job, is not even a primary job. That's my secondary income because I make enough income on my business on the side. Options is certainly what you need to have. You can't have just one option, which is working a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life in a job that I don't like, but I feel like it's quote unquote safe and secure, all the way to age of 65. It does work, don't get me wrong, but the amount of wealth you could build could be 3 times, 4 times, or 5 times, or 10 times more if you went for that dream and that goal you always want to go for. So you have it, guys. Those are the #1 wealth killers that I've experienced and plenty of people experience in their 20s and 30s, and I certainly don't want you to experience. If there's anyone out there that believes that there's something else I should add to the list, drop a comment down below and let me know what you think is also a wealth killer people have in their 20s and their 30s that they need to avoid. Hit the like, leave a comment, and subscribe. And as always, guys, thanks for watching my videos. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.